sort of one of my pet peeves or challenges is often that the business analyst is brought in not at the very, very beginning. What might you recommend as far as making sure that we're engaged more towards the beginning instead of after all the planning has already been done?
It really depends on where you are at in your career. The advice that I would give to somebody like you who's very advanced and experienced in their career is different from somebody newer, right? So somebody
Mm,
newer, I think, does need to prove themselves within the role that they're assigned first. So I
mhm,
see this, and I always like to point this out as a challenge because some BAs can kind of learn the theory and then go into an organization that does not deploy most of those BA practices. And then they're
mhm,
seen as just we're not doing it right. We're not doing it right. Like we have to be assigned, right? And so like that doesn't create the kind of change that you're looking for. So I think you often need to go in and establish yourselves and build that credibility as you become known as somebody who does get things done. It's about asking for the seat at the table, but it's also about positioning the value of that, like tying me being involved earlier as, to the pain points of that the projects are experiencing. So what are the pain points that are happening in your organization that the executives are aware of? What are the organizational objectives that you feel like you can help with by being involved earlier and starting to tell a story about how your work can contribute and solve those problems or achieve those things. So it's not just I need to be involved earlier. It's I can add this kind of value or make this kind of contribution if I've evolved earlier as opposed to being brought in sort of once all the big decisions have been made.
mhm. And I think actually what you're kinda advocating for is sales and marketing
Yes,
a
it
little bit,
is.
right? You
Yeah.
know? I think a lot of us come up thinking, "Oh, I don't wanna have anything to do with sales. Sales puts me off a little bit," but really positioning ourselves as experts, that is more about sales and marketing.
If you take a positive view of sales, not the
Mhm.
like sleazy used car salesman view of skills, right?
Right, right.
It's really like ideally sales is how do we help someone receive value from whatever we have that we can offer
Mhm,
them. And great sales is some sort of a consultative selling process, which really can be business analysis, understanding
mhm,
somebody's needs, understanding their problems, understanding how what you have to offer fits those needs and explaining that in a lot of detail and willing to have those conversations, as well as not that most salespeople are great at this, but when it's not the right solution, right? Like, oh, we understand your problem and we're not the right solution. So
mhm.
that to me is great sales. And it's really good business analysis too.